Hello, Sagittarius. So here is your reading. So first up, you have the Knight of Cups. You have the Wheel of Fortune. You have the King of Wands. And then in the reverse challenging position, you have the Five of Swords. And in the recommended position, you have the Moon. So, okay. I really feel like this has to do with some kind of relationship that you're having. Now, the Knight of Cups could represent a romantic relationship, like a romantic interest, or somebody that you have like strong emotional ties to. Now, I kind of feel like this is all about being kind of invested in somebody as well. So I think that this really could represent a relationship, but somebody that you had a lot of emotional attachments or investments in. I feel like something happened because with the Five of Swords in the reverse, this is about kind of coming to like almost agreeing to disagree, like not wanting to fight anymore. So I think that I kind of feel like you might have had a fight with somebody. This could be a romantic partner, it could be family, it could be friends, but you had a fight with somebody that you have this really strong emotional attachment to. There could have been some kind of disagreement. Something was kind of not quite right. But the Wheel of Fortune, your luck is changing regarding this situation. And the King of Wands, he's like a natural born leader. So I feel like you're being the bigger person in a sense, and you're kind of stepping into this, like, if you've had this disagreement with this person and maybe you guys had a falling out, maybe you're deciding that, you know what, things are changing a little bit. I want to be the bigger person and I want to just move past this. I want to talk to this person and kind of, even if we don't ever resolve it fully, I want to just agree to disagree and just move on. So, and I think with the Moon being here, the Moon represents not always seeing the path clearly. So I think this is kind of, to me, this is saying that there could be things that are hidden. Maybe that the person didn't quite tell you everything that was going on. Maybe you had a falling out and this person had something else going on that contributed to the situation, but you didn't know about it, or there was something that they were hiding from you. Or it could just, this could represent that you don't entirely know, even though you're going to try to be the bigger person in this situation, you don't really know. You can't see if it's going to resolve the situation. And I think at this stage, whatever this is, even if you reach out to them, if you try to resolve this, I think this is saying that you don't know the exact outcome at this moment. And the exact outcome is not so certain at this moment. I think that's what's going on. So I think this is very interesting, but I definitely think that for whatever reason, somebody you've really were attached to, emotionally attached to, something's changing within you. Because to me, this Wheel of Fortune could be about luck, but I'm feeling that in this thing that maybe that you're changing your mind and deciding that maybe it's not fully worth letting this go completely. Like maybe you can just be the bigger person, because I feel like with the King of Wands, he's kind of more the leadership role. So maybe you're taking the lead and deciding that, you know what, I don't agree with this person. I'm not fully happy about this, but I want to see if we can reconcile, see if we can kind of move forward, and however that goes. And I think with the Moon, it's just saying that it's too soon to really have a clear outcome of how this is going to go, because I think this is at the beginning stages of what's happening. So that's how I really feel that this is kind of going. Now let's continue. So you have time, embrace in the dewdrops of life before they disappear with the morning sun, and uncertainty. The shades of gray within the fog will eventually lift. So now I wonder with the time, because sometimes they say time heals all. So I wonder with the Wheel of Fortune being here, if this, whatever situation falling out you had, I wonder if it was kind of set a little bit, if it's been a little while since you spoke to this person. And I wonder if the Wheel of Fortune over time represents that over time you decided that, you know what, it was a stupid argument. It's not really worth it. Maybe I should reach out. So I think sometimes time kind of changes your perspective on things, where in that moment it might have been like super important, but now it's like, you know what, it was kind of stupid. So, and the uncertainty, so I'm going to put the time by the Wheel of Fortune. Now, the uncertainty, the shades of gray within the fog will eventually lift. I think that's going with the moon. I feel like you're not entirely sure if this can actually be fixed or reconciled with, but I think, and I honestly, I feel like you might not even know if it's worth fixing or reconciling with, but I think, because with the King of Wands being here, I feel like with his energy, he takes the leadership role, but at the same time, because he's action orientated, the wands are more action orientated, so he's not like, he's emotional, but he's more like, I feel like with him, he's not going to get carried away with, if something is not working, he's going to know and he's going to switch gears. So I feel like you're taking this action oriented where you might reach out and try to fix the situation, but I don't think that if it's not fixable that you're going to still continue to try to like fix something that's just not happening. So I think you're taking like more of this adult kind of responsible role here about this. And I think with the uncertainty, you might not know if it's going to be fixed or worth fixing, but you're at least willing to give it a shot. Like you're willing to kind of give it a shot. And I think it's still up in the air a little bit how it's going to transpire in the future. But, and that's a little uncertainty I think that you might be feeling, but you're willing to give it a go. And sometimes it's better because sometimes like you kind of just know, and then you could just really put it to rest. One way or another, you can just kind of let it go at that point. You feel like, you know, sometimes things happen and I decide, you know, okay, like let me try to reach out to somebody or something. And once one way or another, it's like, okay, then it's done. Like I did my part. I tried. If it doesn't help, it doesn't help. I can just move on. So I know with me that sometimes all I need is just to know like definitively type of situation. So it might just help you as well. I don't know. Anyway, so you have religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So this is interesting because this argument or whatever happened here, it could have to do, maybe it did happen to do something about religious beliefs or something. But so take that however it works for you, because that's going to resonate for many people differently. You know? But if you wanted to take out the religious factors, you could always think of like it as like different opinions in a sense, or different, because if you want to think religious factors, there's different ways of thinking. So if it wasn't exactly a religious thing for you that there was a conflict on, it could have just been something that you strongly believe in and you had a conflict with somebody over, you know, strong beliefs or whatever. So you can kind of I feel like these romance angels, they can be taken in many different ways. So this argument, whatever happened, the falling out could have just been over some very strong beliefs that, or differences of opinions. So then you got worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. You know what I think? Because sometimes I feel like with these cards, you can kind of take their meaning. And I feel like maybe you trying to extend the olive branch to this person, I feel like maybe it was worth waiting to do it. Maybe it gave them time to kind of like cool down as well. I don't think the outcome is fully certain for sure, but I think maybe it kind of, by waiting, it gave everybody time to kind of cool off and maybe realize that it was actually a silly little situation or something. Then you got very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So I think with the very soon is, I feel like you're going to actually be maybe trying to extend that olive branch sooner than later. But I think the love yourself first, your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. I think this is just telling you that regardless of this situation and the outcome, you always have to love yourself first. If this situation isn't going to be good, even if you want to make amends and maybe have that person back in your life, if they're toxic for you and if it's not worth it, don't put yourself back in that situation. Like, I think you have to, but I feel like with you, with this King of Wands energy, I feel like this is kind of your energy. And I feel like he's very like mature, you know, he's an adult and he's an effective adult. He's one of those. I think that you will put yourself, in a sense, your mental stability and your mental happiness, you will take that into consideration, because if whatever this is, If it's not worth fixing, then it's just time to let it go. But at least you'll have your answer and you'll know for sure. So then next up you have life is a climb, but the view is great. And I think this is always just reminding us that there's always shenanigans running around. There's always some kind of bump in the road. It happens. Nothing is ever perfect, but you know, you climb, you fix one thing, you get over one hump or one hurdle, and then, you know, eventually you could look back and be like, oh wow, look at all that. But it's worth it. But sometimes, you know, you have these bumps in the roads with friendships or whatever, but they're worth kind of trying to fix it in a sense, or trying to kind of move past something. So anyway, so then you have hope. And I feel like this is you having hope for this situation. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I think that's really, really great. So I definitely think you have hope in this situation. And you know what? I hope it works out for you guys as well. And I think that means there is hope that this could be resolved, whatever this is. Even though I think it is a little bit uncertainty, there might be some factors that you're not fully aware of at the moment, or whatever this could be over here. But I definitely think hope is always a good thing to have until you absolutely know that there's no hope in sight. You know, it's not fixable. But I definitely think you should have hope and kind of come into this, whatever this is, with kind of like a, you know, hopeful mindset, and be like, maybe this can be fixed. Because I feel like then that's be more positive. It puts you in a little bit more of like a positive aspect and everything. So I think that's great. So now, think of a question, Sagittarius, is for the Magic 8 Ball. But first, we're going to answer the age-old question of what spirit of the dish shall be with you this week. Now you have the spirit of the flame, which is the sriracha sauce. So there you guys go. And this could be, I like to think, because sometimes, like, you know, when you get into arguments, they're like kind of spicy, they're a little feisty, it's a little tangy. So I think this is like super fitting. I'm not saying try to resolve this with spice and tang and, you know, come into it like that. No, but I definitely think that this could be indicating that whatever happened here might have been a little bit like flamey in a sense. There could be a little fire everywhere. So, but yeah. But you could also see this card as like, because it's spicy, so you might be feeling like, is this situation, if I talk to this person, is it going to get spicy again? And it might get a little spicy. You never know, because sometimes when you try to resolve things with people, they get a little bit, it could be a little bit, you know. But I really hope that if you do decide to resolve whatever, I really wish you the best. I hope whatever outcome it is, I hope it is the best outcome for you. Because at the end of the day, that's all you can really hope for. Okay, now, let's ask, what dinner and a movie does the universe recommend for you? Let's see, Sagittarius. What dinner and a movie for my Sagittariuses? Okay, so you got American and action. So you got American food and action movies. So there you guys go. And then let's do... You got N, H, J, R, D, A, W, S, U, and R. Okay, so then you have, and then numbers are 7 and 3. And then you got 3 stones jumped out on me. So you have relax, dream, and peace. Oh my God. So I feel like this situation, whatever it is, it could be kind of having you with some tension a little bit. Especially if you're going to be the bigger person and reach out. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking. So I think you just need to kind of relax. You know, don't stress too much out over it, even though it's always nerve-wracking because you never know if somebody's going to bite your head off or what's going to happen. But I just feel like you just need to, this is just saying, like, you know, relax. So I'm going to put the relax on the King of Wands, because the King of Wands, he's not sweating it. He's the king. He's not sweating it. Anyway, so then dream and peace. So I feel like if you kind of dream of having peace or a resolution with this, I think that's excellent. So I'm going to put the dream and the peace on the moon, because I feel like the moon is kind of like a card of dreams a little bit, and I feel like you're not sure how the past. You know what? I'm going to put the piece on the Five of Swords here, because I feel like you're trying to make peace with this person, because that's basically what that card's about. So yeah, so there you go. That is very fitting. Okay, guys, here we have time. It's time for the Magic 8 Ball. Think of your questions, Sagittariuses. Here we go. Oh, mystical, magical 8 Ball, the mightiest ball of all the balls in the world. What is the answer to Sagittarius's question? It says, it is certain. There you go, guys. The 8 Ball has spoken. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful week, and good luck with whatever this is. Good luck to you guys. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.